What's going on, everybody? This Afro Think Tank. So everybody's coming down on Killer Mike because he's advocating that we need to mobilize and we need to vote and get ourselves together and fight against, institutionalized racism, right? And all these draconian laws being passed to disenfranchise black people and disenfranchise voters. Killer Mike, the rapper, all right? That's what I gotta say about this. Killer Mike, I don't want to hear another motherfucking word you got to say. Not another motherfucking word you got to say. Do you know why? Because you wasn't saying all this shit when you was making your money promoting the destruction of the black community. You see, when you was out there, when you was poor, and to make your money, you went out here, you made that poison-ass music for our community to consume so they can destroy themselves. So they can look at each other as enemies, right? So after you made your money, you padded your pockets, you took care of your family, right? You secured your future. Then all of a sudden you want to become a fucking activist, right? But then when Hillary Clinton was running, the one that was, qualified, you decided you wanted to go against Hillary Clinton, knowing we had an abomination of a Donald Trump over the horizon. Like we all saw it. It was right there. But no, you didn't give a fuck. You know why? You didn't care? Because just like the rest of these high city Negroes, as soon as you get a little bit of money, move in your little white neighborhood, you got the money and economic privilege to do all kind of shit. The consequences of these votings didn't really affect you. You see, your shit's not affected. Whether Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, anybody's the president, your ass is still rich. You still got a mansion. You got a fat ass house. You still got a catalog making you money. You can still jet set around the world, and you ain't got to worry about groceries. That's the problem with a lot of you rich motherfuckers who forgot where y'all came from. While y'all was destroying your communities to make that dead presidents. But now that you got it, it's like, I'm older now and I'm adult now. Let me get myself together. Now I understand everybody can have a redemption arc, but motherfucker, you don't get that redemption arc yet. Because you just grifting. Now you want to be on the right side of history after being the architect on the other side of history for 10 years. You and people like you got Hillary Clinton tossed out and Donald Trump placed in. Now, it was Hillary Clinton, everything that we wanted her to be. No, but she was normal. She was qualified. She's not Donald Trump. Huh? Yeah. And with Kamala, was she not black enough for you? I'm just checking because, there's all kind of reasons. Was she too Indian for you? Was she too qualified for you? Are you going to say that, are you going to go with she put a whole bunch of black people in jail even though that wasn't true and it was already been debunked? Huh? What you got to say now? Who you want us to support? Huh? Gavin Newsom? How much money did Gavin Newsom put in your pocket? You think we stupid? You think that some white slick-head ass California ass governor didn't come to you and was like, look, all right, Killer Mike, I need to get all my Negroes together so we can get this goddamn Democratic campaign running. So now y'all want us to galvanize and get ready and do something. Fuck you. I'm not doing shit until the black women say it's time to move. That's what's up. When the black women tell me who it is that we need to look at, who we need to scrutinize, that's when I'm going to get started. Until then, I'm not listening to you, Killer Mike. Your name is Killer Mike because you've been nothing but a killer of the community. You're a participant of the killer of the community. There are black people who are dead because of people like you. There are black people in Africa dead because they're not getting the goddamn subsidies they used to get because of people like you. There are real consequences for your actions, for your voting or not voting. You sat on the couch. Huh? You just like Tariq Nasheed. But now you want to turn your goddamn lane. Your pockets are fine. So all your shit is just performative. You're not selling albums no more because you an old black dude and rap only likes young folks to stay relevant. Now you want to be a goddamn activist and shit. And you want to be on the right side of history after you made your bones on the other side of the tracks. Get the fuck out of here. You are not the messenger. I'm tired of these hip hop heads. I'm tired of these entertainers are not our leaders. Just because you can rhyme some words don't make you a community leader. Doesn't mean that we should take what you got to say in consideration. Because when you had the microphone and you had a bigger platform, when you was making your rhymes and you was making your raps, you wasn't empowering the people then, were you? When you was making them dead presidents. You wasn't sending home a revolutionary message then. You only started doing that when you got older after you done already became rich. Now, just to remain relevant, You gotta have a podcast. All the old rappers got a podcast while they reminisce over the old days and shit. Old geezers still walking around with fitties and shit, acting like they in their 20s and shit because they can't let it go or grow up, right? And we supposed to take what you guys got to say as word, as bond, as leaders. You're not our leaders. You are the entertainment, nigga. You and the rest of you rappers and you singers and you artists, you are the entertainment. Nowhere in most of your guys' background does it say that you have the intellect, the know-how, or the knowledge to be talking about political and economic issues and be held to some sort of standard in which we should listen to you and take what you got to say seriously. Most of you don't have that. You just niggas who got famous before social media. That's what you are. That is it and that is all. You caught on to a fad of CDs and DVDs and VHSs and shit. All right? That's you. Other than that, there is nothing about most of you rappers like Killer Mike, even though I'm sure you can articulate yourself because you're a rapper. Most rappers usually can't articulate yourself unless you got somebody writing your shit. But I think Killer Mike writes his own shit. I'm not sure, but who knows nowadays? But no, sorry, man. Killer Mike, no, you're not that dude. The message, yes, I understand the message, but you're not the messenger that we need. No one's going to galvanize behind you. They haven't galvanized behind you yet, Killer Mike. You've been trying to do this shit for years. You know why? Because people remember the shit you talked about before you got rich. People remember what you did in the last political campaigns. So don't try to act brand new. Once you do this shit, it's here. The internet remembers everything. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. Afro Think Tank, learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Let me tell you, if you want some really good comic relief, go over the threads. And then look at Killer Mike's post. I think he did yesterday or the day before yesterday. And then look at all the comments. They are eating his ass up in threads, and I'm living for it.
Hey, what's up? Onyx Impact, Black Male Initiative. This is Killer Mike, also known as Michael Render. 1965 Voters' Rights Act just got gutted. They gutted it. They literally eviscerated it, and is now trying to make it easier, or allowed it to be easier, for states to redraw district lines to annex those most in need out. This is not just black people and African Americans. This is poor people. So
now, I know that ain't who I think it is. Game recognized game, and you looking real unfamiliar, Killer Mike. You want to talk about the importance of voting and the Voting Rights Act being slashed, but did you care about that back in 2016? No, the fuck you didn't. Killer Mike says he's not voting for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, and that was on August 12th, 2016. And for the people that be like, oh, well, he might have learned over the years. Let's see what Killer Mike had to say about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump in 2024. On Michael Track, talking that shit, he raps, I don't give a fuck who the president is if the president's not for me. Does he think Kamala Harris is for him? I think anyone holding the position of president can do the things that I like about Bernie Sanders, he says cautiously, pointing to the issues such as legislation of marijuana and tax increases to fund education. Will Kamala or Trump have the wherewithal to do it? I don't know. So you want to talk about the severity of the Trump administration and what they just did to the Voting Rights Act. But in 2016, you were uncommitted to Hillary Clinton. And in 2024, you said, will Kamala or Trump have the wherewithal to do it? I don't know. So you've been uncommitted this whole time. So do we need someone like you on the front lines trying to spread awareness and shit? No, the fuck we don't. You can go ahead and take a back seat, Killer Mike. Go continue to do your music. But as far as you in politics and trying to lead the black community, we are good. It's like all of these people that didn't want to take politics as seriously as they should, now all of a sudden want to take it serious. And it's just like, you had your opportunities and you showed your true self. We don't want no parts of what you're trying to influence anymore.
I'm telling you this. 99.9% of these Negroes are for sale, man. They would do anything and everything to police these white men. And the white men know that. They know that. And these black men, they come out here and they talk about they for the black people. No, you're not, man. You know you're not. You do anything and everything to please that white man. That's why I don't respect y'all, man, because y'all don't work hard to be in y'all position. You don't work hard. You talk a lot of game. But you can't tell me that you deserve album of the year.
After everything we saw yesterday, Amanda Seales, Mark Laurent Hill, and Killer Mike, what y'all got to say now? Now, before we get into it, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, follow, do all the things. Come and talk my shit. We have a good time, but let's get into it. After the turn of events yesterday with the Supreme Court basically gutting the Voting Rights Act, I'm really confused as to where all these Never Kamalas are, where all these crazy leftists are, and all the people that didn't want to vote for Hillary and didn't want to vote for Kamala and got us in this shit. Now what? Now what? Amanda Seales, you on your page acting like you're so shocked and how you need to have a Patreon to let everybody know what's going on when you're a fucking Jill Steiner and part of the reason we're here. Because you, black woman, were too busy up here all on Jill Stein's and over here telling people about Gaza, as you like to say, and worrying about that instead of worrying about the black people in this country. Mark Lamont Hill, you was a 2016 never Hillary. You really didn't have much to say about Kamala. You part of the reason we're here. Killer Mike, yesterday you talking about fucking seafood as opposed to what's going on. And when people in your comments were bringing up the fact that they'll never forget that you're part of the reason we're here, because in 2016 you were mad that Bernie didn't get in, and so you was never voting for Hillary. All of y'all push this bullshit and are the reason we may lose every single right we have in this country. But the funny thing is all y'all got money to an extent. So you're not nearly as affected as the people that you pushed the propaganda on. But you want to sit here and be quiet. Where's your girl Jill Stein? She ain't said a word. But y'all wanted us to vote for her. Y'all still, Amanda, you was still at an event with her a month ago. You, Imani B, that Afeni girl, y'all was all over here doing stuff with her, taking pictures. But she ain't said a word about the black people's rights being taken. Because she's a grifter who pops out during elections, makes her money and goes away. Because if Jill Stein really cared about us, this would be on her, a big deal for her right now, don't you think? Y'all were convincing us to vote for her, you and Mark. But now, again, Mark hasn't said a word, just promoting his little podcast. Killer Mike promoting Seafood Wednesdays at Bankhead Seafood. And you over here trying to do a Patreon to make some money on your Patreon to go over there and talk about shit like you were instrumental in this happening. Y'all are full of shit. And may karma affect you greatly.
Because I got mine. Right. The old people, you say something in the South, I got mine. You got to get yours. You got to get so I'm good. Everything I've ever wanted, I got. I got a wife shaped like a strip. I got all fast muscle cars. I got some German cars in there. Yeah. My house paid for. My warehouses and buildings paid for. I can sit back, take a month off, and live off the rents that I charge people. I am rich. I'm as rich as I ever been. I'm fine. I'm not Jay-Z rich, not billionaire rich, but boy, for an old country boy. Oh, man.
You got more than you ever thought you had.
Oh, boy, everything. But you don't know, only thing I'm missing now is a couple hundred acres somewhere in West Georgia, my own lake, and a compound for my sisters who live on with me. And that's soon coming. So y'all, no matter what you say about me, what you try to do or throw at me, I don't give a damn.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.